Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for coming out tonight. I know it takes a sacrifice of your time and in an effort to come out, and I am truly grateful that you have made that effort and sacrifice to come and learn a little bit about how we need to conduct ourselves as we go about canvassing the community this coming Saturday. We're actually attempting in this canvassing event to do something First Federated Church has never done, and that is to make personal contact with all of the households of our ministry backyard in one day. It's quite an undertaking. Some would say it's ridiculous, crazy, it'll never happen. We'll see. But it's a big job, nonetheless. The reason we're doing this is to promote our upcoming Vacation Bible School and to invite children to attend. Obviously, for something of this magnitude to work requires a lot of pre-planning, material preparation, training of leaders and volunteers. Most importantly, if it's going to work, it requires your patient cooperation. All those other things are important, but we can have the best leaders and the best training and the best materials, but if the masses who we're counting on to make it happen aren't patient and cooperative, then it's all going to go for nothing. Everybody that has been working on this project, I assure you, has been giving it their very best effort. There have been many meetings and people strategizing and trying to think through all of the various scenarios to ensure that there are no cracks for someone to fall through. However, I am absolutely 100% confident that we have not filled all the cracks. And I am sure there's going to be some who are going to stumble into one. And if that's you, let me just say it now. I am sorry that you have fallen into a crack. Hopefully you have not fallen down and can't get up. Hopefully we can get you back up and get you moving again, all right? But there are going to be some cracks that are going to show up. We will have not answered them all, even though we've tried. So if you fall into a crack and something unpleasant happens, help us out. Don't allow yourself to get out of sorts. Okay? Don't allow yourself to get out of sorts, because it won't help. All right? Please be kind, be patient, be loving. Let myself know, or Sherry know, or someone else who's leading know, so that we can find out what's going on and help you find a resolution so that we can keep the thing moving forward and get our mission accomplished. All right? So I just kind of throw that out as a disclaimer right up front, that we know not everything has been dealt with, but we're certainly trying to get it all done by Saturday. And but if you happen to be an unfortunate one who encounters a difficulty, just work with us and we'll figure out a solution for it. Also, I've already said this, but I'll say it again, that tonight's session is being recorded, so you're going to be on film, at least the back of your head probably, and some of you down front here anyway. And the reason we're recording it is because not everybody's able to come on Wednesday night, and they can then watch it online and find out what it is that you were taught or shared with here tonight. So let's get started with the first issue. And the first issue is simply this: what are we doing? And I'm going to tell you what we're not doing first. So in going out and canvassing, this is what we are not doing. This canvassing is not about evangelizing. We're not going out to evangelize. We're not going out to soul win. We're not going out to counsel anybody. There's not time for that. That's not our effort. That's not what we're trying to do. Here's what we are going out to do. We are going out to get the word out about our Vacation Bible School ministry, and to do it in a personal, in the flesh, tangible nature that allows us to encounter some of the people of our ministry backyard. We are representing Christ when we go. We are not representing ourselves individually. We're representing Christ, and we're representing our church, First Federated Church. We are meeting the residents of our community, the very ones we've been talking about, the 45,000 people that live in 50310, 50311. We are going to get to meet some of them, see where they live, see how things are on their street. And it kind of puts us in connection with them. We are going to be friendly. That's what we're doing. We're being friendly. We're being nice. We're being Christ-like, right? And we are distributing flyers that promote our Vacation Bible School. Bill, do you happen to have one of those flyers, or are they? Yeah. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we just pass these around?
They're in each packet.
Okay. But for them tonight, just take one, pass them down. If you're a couple, just take one, pass them around. These are the flyers that we're passing out that tell about our Vacation Bible School. So that's what we're doing. The second thing to deal with tonight is, how are we doing it? Well, the 10-11 window is quite big, and we've broken it down into 45 areas, okay? We're going to need a captain for each of those 45 areas, and those captains are going to come from among you. So go ahead and start preparing yourself now to volunteer to be a captain. Since you're here in the flesh, you get that first privilege of jumping out there in leadership. All right? So we're going to need a captain for each of these 45 areas. That means, class, we're going to need how many captains? Wow, you are so smart. I mean, you know, you are an educated bunch. Now, not only are we going to need a captain for each of these 45 areas, but we're going to need about 4 to 6 people who then will join with that captain and become a team that will go into these areas. Bill has estimated by Google satellite home counting search that about 4 to 6 to 5 people should be able to cover an area, the most densely populated area, in a couple of hours. We'll see how that holds up, whether or not his technology works for us or not, but that's about what we're looking for. Now, we're going to need to identify as many of those captains tonight as possible. The reason is because I want to give you a map of, like, say, 50310 or 50311, depending on which area you're going to, that will show you where your square is, and then I'm going to give you another map of just your square, your area, that will show all the streets, so that between now and Saturday, you can kind of be studying up on that and looking at it a little bit and figuring out exactly where in our little community here your square is and how you would get there. And you see, as a captain, it's your responsibility on Saturday to kind of take your volunteers and say, now I want you two to go down this street, and I'll take this person, we'll go down that street, and you two, you go down that street, and we'll meet over here. And so you're just kind of there to kind of keep the ball rolling and make sure that things are moving forward. So we're going to need to determine who the captains are tonight as much as possible. And I think we've got just about 45 people here, so that should work out just right, so that I can give you those materials. Okay? Now, the team members then will be assigned on Saturday morning as we come to eat breakfast, and that's going to be pretty easy. I'm just going to stand Jim Feely up, who's going to be a captain, and I'm going to say, now Jim's got area number 1, and I need 5 people to go with Jim. Who'll be the first 5 to volunteer? And when they volunteer, Jim will take his 5 or 6, and he'll go out in the parking lot, and he'll get the process started and getting them going down the road. But so that's how we'll do that as far as getting the captains and the volunteers there. Just for you, all of you to know, each of the 45 teams will receive an area packet, a manila envelope with stuff inside. Here's what's going to be inside. There'll be maps of the streets in your area. There'll be the door hangers, enough to give out to all the residents that are in your area. You'll have a copy of the canvassing guidelines, just a little reminder of some of the important things that you will have forgotten from tonight till Saturday. That'll be in your packet. There'll be blank name tags, all right? Our church name is on top, but then it's blank otherwise, and you'll just need to take a Sharpie and write your name. And I want every canvasser to have a name tag on their shirt or jacket or whatever, just so that it lends credibility that, you know, who you are and who you're representing. In that packet will also be a card with phone support information on it and phone numbers. In other words, while you're out in the field, you might encounter something that you need a question answered or some help. Well, Sherry, Colleen, and Julie will be back here at the church manning phones. And if you need some help or support, you can give them a call, and they'll help you out. Also in the packet will be emergency information, locations of hospitals, clinics, police, whatever. We never know when something may happen. And phone numbers in case somebody in your team needs assistance. All right? Dog bites you, or who knows what happens, right? So we'll have that. And then, like I said, on Saturday, we'll match everybody up. So that's kind of how we're going to go about doing it. 45 areas, captains, team members, packets with all the information. Off you go. Now, let's talk about some important things that you need to know as you go out to canvass. First of all, as we go out to people's homes, we're going to be strangers to them. And we live in a day and a time in which strangers are viewed with a lot of skepticism, right? And general concern. We generally look at people we don't know. We have a tendency to look at them as a threat, certainly negative. You're interrupting my morning. What are you doing on my front door? Why are you ringing my doorbell? Why are you knocking on my door? People generally think negatively about folks who go to the door because they're thinking that you're there to sell them something, right? And they don't want to buy it. Good news is we're not selling anything. Or that you're there to inform them about a problem. Something's going on in the neighborhood and you're there to complain. Your dog is in my yard, We're not doing that either, right? Or that you're there to engage them in a religious or political conversation. And while we are there, I guess under the religion banner, we're really not there to sell them or to have a conversation. We're just there to invite them and let them know of something that's going on. Some elderly people may actually be wondering if we're out there casing the neighborhood because we're going to break into their home. So we just have to be sensitive to the fact that homeowners may not, be just like sitting on the front porch waiting for us with tea and crumpets to invite us to sit down and have a pleasant morning. So just be sensitive to that and understand that they're a little bit nervous when we come to their home. And it also then speaks to the importance of how we conduct ourselves. Because we already know that some people are going to be a little bit nervous, a little bit shy, a little bit skittish of why we're out there, then we want to do everything in our power to set them at ease and make them feel comfortable so that they know we're not there for any bad reason, but only something positive. So here are some of the things then that would impact that situation. Number one, how we dress, right? We want to be careful about how we dress. We want to present ourselves in a clean, neat, casual kind of way. You say, Pastor Mike, did you really bring us out here to say that? Yeah, I really did. Because while most of you probably would just get it right away, there's always a few who may struggle with those kinds of things. We just want to make sure, for example, jeans are fine, right? We don't have to wear suits and dresses, right? Okay? Jeans are fine, shorts are fine, T-shirts are okay too. But when you're wearing a T-shirt, just take a look at the front if it's got something on it and make sure that what's on it isn't offensive, right? Or, sometimes some of our T-shirts are a little offensive to some people, right? So we want to be careful what's on that. Wearing a ball cap is fine, but nonetheless, you don't want the one that you just crawled out from under the car with grease all over it and sweat marks. And, you want to look appropriate and nice because you're representing Christ, you're representing the church. So just kind of keep that in mind as you think about what you're going to be wearing. Remember your shoes, right? We're going to be walking. So you want to make sure you're wearing a comfortable pair of shoes. This is not the day to wear a brand new pair of shoes that you're going to get a blister with. And have somebody have to come and carry you, right? So be careful about your shoes. You want to wear something careful. And then we don't know if it's going to rain or not as we're watching the forecast. If it looks like there's a credible threat for rain, bring something because we're going rain or shine. So unless it's a tornado threat, in that case we won't. But if it's just threatening a little bit of rain, bring an umbrella or a slicker or something, because we're going to go on out and do our mission. So how we dress is really important. We're representing the church, representing Christ. Let's make sure that the way we present ourselves from that perspective is good. And if you have any questions about what's right, wrong, or indifferent, ask. We'll help you out. Secondly, then, is our attitude. We want to make sure that we go out that morning with a really positive, good attitude. Happy. We're a happy bunch, aren't we? Y'all don't look so happy right now, but we're happy. We're a happy bunch. We want to be full of smiles. We want to go out with the look on our face that God is good and we're blessed, right? We want to have a spirit of cooperation as we go out together. The attitude that should be in our hearts and minds should be one that says, how can I help my church and my team win today? That's why we're out there. We're working together. We're teammates. How can I help the church win today? How can I help my team that I'm working with win? We want to show up Saturday with a can-do attitude, right? As I've already said, there's going to be problems. Your breakfast is going to be cold. We're going to run out of orange juice. The map's going to have a smudge on it. Somebody's going to run out of gas. I don't know. Something's going to happen. But we're going to have can-do attitudes, realizing that all problems can be resolved, right? There's not going to be a problem that's going to come up that I can foresee that can't be resolved. And we want to, if a problem happens to land on our front door, so to speak, then we want to identify that problem to leaders in an attitude that says, it can be resolved, I know it can be resolved, and I'm here to help resolve it. Always smiling, because we're a happy bunch, right? Yep. Okay. Somebody's having a lot of fun. And patience. Okay? Saturday, you need to fill up your patient truck to the brim. We're going to need patience. Because if my hope and wish comes true and we have 500 people showing up for breakfast and trying to get them out on the streets, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a madhouse. We're going to have missed some details and there's going to be questions and it's going to be a mess. And so we're going to need to be patient. Patient. Not, man, I'm giving up my Saturday morning. Why ain't they got this thing more coordinated and organized? I'll write my congressman. No, patience. Your congressman doesn't give a rip about what's going on down here at the church. I'll write my elder then. I'm not sure that's much better. Okay, anyway, but patience. Right? It's going to be stressful to some degree, but come ready to be supportive and do your part. So when we go out canvassing, your area captain is going to help you know what streets to canvass. You don't need to worry about that. Whomever you get assigned to, they're going to have the maps. There's 45 of them right here of the individual blocks. And did you get that other? And it's being printed now as we speak, right? You've got them? All right. Can I see one just to see how it turned out? Oh, okay. So, you'll get the captains will have two maps, one that shows the entire area and the different blocks, and then you'll have a map of your block, and your captain's going to help you get to that area and get moving on the canvassing. When you're out in your area, one of the things you want to do is stay on the sidewalks. Do not take shortcuts, meaning do not cross people's lawns. Yes, sir? Then walk in the street. Preferably not in the middle, along the side. Or just walk along the side of the grass there. But what I'm saying is simply this. Don't go across people's lawns. I come off of this guy's porch and I run across his front yard to go to the next guy's front porch. Some people are really touchy about their lawns, right? And they don't appreciate it when folks go trampling all over their petunias. So we want to be respectful. We want to stay on the paved places, right? So no shortcuts. Another thing that's important, obey all posted signs, right? You're going to get on a street and it may say no parking. Don't say to yourself, it doesn't matter, there's nowhere else to park, I'm just going to park here, I'm only going to be out 10 minutes. If it says no parking, don't park there, because if somebody watches you parking there and then you go to their door and say, we're from First Federated Church, and they say, people First Federated Church don't obey the laws. Why would I want to send my kids there? So obey the signs. If you go up to a door and all of a sudden you see one of those little signs that says no solicitation, what does that mean? What? It means turn around and go somewhere else. That's exactly what it means. So if someone put that on their door, that means they don't want to be disturbed, and we need to respect their right to their privacy and their peace of mind. So if you see the sign, please just turn around and go to the next house. If you don't see the sign until they're standing there pointing at it, then just apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't see the sign, and turn around and go, right? The point is respect their wishes.
We don't leave a door hanger even at that?
If it says no solicitation, don't even leave a hanger. That means just leave them alone. That's what they're asking.
One question. For apartments, do we follow that same
I'm going to get there. Approaching a residence. So when you approach a residence, what you want to do, knock on the door or ring the doorbell, right? And after you've knocked or rung the doorbell, take a couple steps back. You don't want to be right on top of the door making somebody feel like you're about to enter in the house, right? So just take a step or two back, so there's a little space there, and just respect that personal space. When they come to the door, you want to be smiling, right? Pleasant, happy, blessed in the Lord. If a child comes to the door, what should you do? Yeah. Hi, how are you? Is your mommy or daddy home? Is there an adult here that I could talk to? You know, we don't want to be engaging the children in particular or specifically. We want to talk to responsible adults in the home. Once an adult comes to the door, what do we do from there? Well, here it is in bullet form, and then I'll give you an example. So basically, you just want to introduce yourself. You want to tell them why you're there. You want to give them the flyer. You want to thank them for their time, and you want to move on. Again, we're not there to evangelize. We're not there to soul win. We're not there to quote the Romans Road or anything else. We're just there to let them know who we are, what we're about, give them the flyer, thank them for their time, and move on. That would look something like this. Let's say my wife and I are approaching a residence. We ring the doorbell. We take a couple of steps back. The lady answers the door, and I say, hi, my name is Mike, and this is Connie, and we're from First Federated Church down on Franklin Avenue, and we're doing a vacation Bible school this year, and we're out in the community letting folks know that it's going on, and maybe you have children or grandchildren or you know children in the community. I've got this flyer that tells a little bit about it. May I give that to you? Notice, may I give that to you? Sure. Okay, you hand it to them and say, thanks, I hope you'll let folks know in the neighborhood about it, and you have a great day. That's it. That's all you're being asked to do. That's all you're being asked to do. Just share that basic, and I'll even put that little blurb. I don't want you standing there reading it. Hi, my name is Mike, and this is Connie. But you put your own name in there, and maybe you can actually memorize something that's close to that, and just kind of share that with each person, and that way it makes it quick and easy. Yes, sir. Yeah, if there is no adult there at all, and a child has answered the door, and they say that, nobody's here but me, just say, oh, okay, well then let me just give this to you, and you share that with your mom and dad, okay?
How old of a group are we having in VBS?
I think it's up to 6th grade. So we're looking at preschoolish up to 6th grade. K through 6, okay. All right, so that's if somebody comes to the door. If nobody comes to the door, don't keep ringing, don't keep knocking, right? Knock once, maybe twice, ring the doorbell once. But if nobody comes to the door, then these things are made to be a door hanger. Just hang it on the door and move on. Again, remember as you leave a residence, do not walk on the lawn. Do not take shortcuts. Walk all the way down the sidewalk and go to the next house, all right? Respect people's property. What if somebody comes to the door and they're clearly busy or irritated? What do you do with that? Well, duck. What you do is just be sensitive to the situation. If you recognize this person doesn't look like they want you standing on their porch, or they're probably in the middle of an argument with their spouse, or who knows what's going on, just apologize. You know, oh, I'm sorry, it looks like you're busy or something's going on here. Tell you what, can I just leave this with you today and you can look at it later when you have time? If they say, no, I don't want it, thank you very much. You have a good day. If they take it, thank you very much. Have a good day, all right? So you just want to be sensitive and get out of the situation, because you're not there to deal with that. You're just there to share the information with them. But regardless of whether they accept it or don't accept it, you thank them with a smile and you move on. Don't take it personal because they don't know who you are. They're just being themselves.
Pastor,
Yes, sir.
during the summer, a lot of people may be in their backyard,
Mm-hmm.
knock on the door, nobody comes, but you see Charlie out in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
The back-
That's a really great question. What if they're out in the backyard, nobody comes to the door, but you see them out there? I don't know. I would just probably do an audible at that moment. I'm going to go, do they look like they're approachable? If they do, I might walk to the fence and, hey, how you doing, neighbor? You know, just kind of have to call it as you see it in the moment.
You might say, get off my yard.
Yes, sir. I'll be out of here in just a half shake of a lamb's tail. Under no circumstances are we to be pushy. No pushiness, okay? Please don't do that. We're just there to personally invite children to our VBS, let the community know that we exist. We have nothing to prove. You know, sometimes you're out doing a canvassing and some cranky somebody comes up and tells you, you have no right out here doing this. Get out of our neighborhood, or get off my street, or get off my lawn. Listen, do not engage that kind of conversation. Just don't do it. I don't want to hear, well, it's my First Amendment right. I have the right to be out. I checked with the police department. We have the right to be out here. You can't tell. No, don't do that. Just, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Let me get out of your way. Just move on. Just get away from it. And so if somebody asks you to leave, then what do? You leave. There you go. You guys, I knew you'd have the answer. Now, yes, sir. Okay. If someone invites you in, let them know that appreciate your hospitality, but we have a lot of homes to cover. And if you'd like someone to come and visit you from the church, if you'll just call the number here on the flyer, one of the pastors would love to come and talk to you. But don't go in anybody's house. Well, if they have accompanying milk to go with it and it's AE milk, no. You know, again, the point is we're there. It's going to be hard enough to get through. If anybody's wanting to be really hospitable, just thank them and say, if you want to talk with somebody, if you call the church, somebody would love to come by and talk with you, but I've got to get going. I'm sorry. And just keep going. Yes, Paul, real quick. There's no phone number on there. Okay, then... just write the number then on the back, 255-2122. All right, let me get back on track. Okay, if you're in an apartment complex and you're told to leave, leave. So that was the other thing. What if someone engages you in conversation and is tying you up? That kind of goes with what you were just talking about. So, our visits really to each resident should be no more than a minute, minute and a half, really. We're just there to quickly get in, get out, move on. So if they're being really friendly and you feel like hanging out an extra minute, great. But otherwise, let them know that you're busy, you got places to go. If they want someone to visit, they can, and here's the number. Well, what time are your services? You know what time our church services are? 8:30, 9:45, 11. You can just write that down on the thing and hand it to them. Yeah. On Sunday mornings, yes. All right. No matter what happens, you're going to smile and be friendly, right? So, here we come down to some final quick tips. Smile, be friendly, be courteous. I can't say that enough because all we need is one person being just the opposite to hurt our effort. Okay? So, we want to make sure that we're always remembering. Smile, be friendly, be courteous. Don't cut across lawns. Don't touch anything on anybody's property. Wow, that is a great-looking hot rod. Opened up the door. I think I'll sit down in this thing and, woo-hoo, does this thing feel good? No, don't touch anything. You're not there to admire their doodads, their little yard gnomes. Just leave them alone. Don't touch anything. Work the mapped streets. We're going to give you maps. Just work those streets, get those covered. A duplex, a triplex, treat them the same as a home. Each door is their own individual residence. Go up to those in each one. Apartment buildings, basically don't knock on each door. I've been told by those who are in the know, place a stack of flyers near the entrance or near the mailboxes if there's a logical place to leave them.
Is that even if there's a no soliciting sign?
If there's a no soliciting sign, honor that. Yeah, always. Do not place flyers in mailboxes because that's a federal offense. And I'm not coming to jail to visit you if you get booked on violating that law. I'm going to send you a note in the mailbox saying, hey, dummy, why did you stick that in there after being told not to? No, I'm just kidding. I'll come visit you. Once. Of course, skip gated communities, right? If on your map there's a gated community. Again, skip homes with signs that say no solicitors. Finally, 4 things. Smile and be friendly. Dress for the weather. Okay. Bring a bottle of water so you don't die of thirst out there. Okay. And bring a fully charged cell phone if you have a cell phone. That way, if you run into a problem, you can call and get assistance. All right? So that's pretty much what I really wanted to cover. It's a lot of basic things, but important things to be reminded of before we go out and start hitting the neighborhood to make sure we're all singing from the same sheet of music. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know that it's necessary. I'm not going to turn mine off. I might just turn the ringer off so that it just vibrates. And then obviously if I'm standing on someone's porch talking to them, I'm not going to say, excuse me, and take a look at my, and then start texting an answer back. I'm just going to ignore it until I get off their porch. And that's a great thing because we are so conditioned, aren't we? As soon as that thing, it's like Pavlov's dog, isn't it? As soon as that little thing just jingles a little bit, we're just like the dog. I see what's on the phone. I mean, we do it when we're driving in the car, don't we? And then, somebody's driving with their knee while they're texting back, yeah, I want a cheeseburger with fries, and no, Junior can't have the car. Y'all are really liking this, aren't you? It is. I used to drive with my knee and eat a Big Mac when I was a teenager. But I would kill my kids if I caught them doing that. All right, but seriously, so, if your phone goes off, just ignore it. No, that's a good, that's great. What is Vacation Bible School? I'm sure that there are probably some people out there that have no idea what that means. And don't use the words VBS, say Vacation Bible School. Just say, well, that's just a summertime church program that allows kids an opportunity to get together. They have a lot of fun games and crafts, and we do teach them some truths from the Bible. At the week, yes. I have no idea. I can't answer that question either. The answer is no. We don't know. We have checked with them to ask, is this okay? Yes, you're free to do that. But the question was, has the Des Moines Police Department been notified that we're actually going to be out canvassing? Okay, Tom Clegg did contact them and got some guidelines, so that's all I can say.